Yo, what's going on today, guys? Back here for another video. So a couple days ago I made the tier list for every single stage 2 that currently existed. New set came out, so I want to give you guys the best rare candy targets from the new set. So the first one is personally my favorite. I'm already loving this card. The Siguar EX, extremely powerful. It is a stage 2, obviously, because you know it's a rare candy target, so I'm not going to mention that going further for all these other cards. 170 HP. With the introduction of that new Leaf Cape card, you can go all the way up to 200, extremely tanky, and then you see it's a stage 2, so you have access to either Lily or, because of grass type, Erica. So 2 grass injury, 80 damage, nice. The main thing about this is why Pierce the Pain, 2 colorless, 100 damage as long as it already has damage on it. So this thing can do 100 damage to the bench. Card is actually insane, dude. I've already won so many games because my opponent tries to retreat to the bench. No, bro. You ain't going nowhere, bro. Snipe from the 100-man GG's. I think this might be the best stage 2 personally, but you know, as the meta develops, it can become like maybe like only like a top 3, maybe like the second best. We just gotta wait and see. So another one, bro, that I actually wasn't expecting to be pretty decent. So we have Serena. So what this card is, it is 1 energy for 3 kick combo. So you flip 3 coins, it does 50 for each head. So it's essentially a Celebi that just flips 3 coins, but you know, for 1 energy, and it's a non-EX. So obviously, you know, it is a stage 2. But what are the good things about Serena? 1, I mean, going first with the rare candy is a godlike combo. I mean, you're starting 150 damage. You could like threaten like 150 damage like right away. The nice also thing about Serena is it has access to Mallow, not too sure, but heal all damage from one of your Shinotics or Serena. So obviously you discard all the energy, but like the thing is 1 energy, so like you don't mind discarding the energy. So you could literally heal like 120 damage if you have 10 HP left, possibly. So I don't think it's the craziest thing, but I think it's going to be super strong if you do have that godlike combo going first with the rare candy. So next up is the second evolution, bro, or second starter final evolution. We have Incineroar, so 180 damage, so that's extremely tanky. But it does do damage to itself, and also the Litten. We do have this Litten if I go up here, which does damage itself, so that is one thing to note. Or the Torracat actually does damage to itself, and although there is a Litten, okay, just to make sure. But so for 1 energy, 30 damage, but it burns, so technically 50, then possibly 70, bro, if that burn does not go away. But we have the second attack, which is Scar Charge Smash, so it is 80 damage, but if you have damage on Incineroar, it actually does 140. So I don't think this is anything crazy. It can possibly be 160 if they are still burned after you do go for this attack. So I think the main thing is, I think Fire Fang is super strong. I mean, it's like one of those cards, again, like if you do go first or second, it is going to be nice, because if you go second, you can evolve on your next turn Fire Fang, and then the next turn Scar Charge Smash. But if you go first, you can do Fire Fang, and then the next 2 turns you can build up to the Scar Charge Smash. So I don't think it's anything broken right away. I just think it's a super solid, strong card that can definitely see itself making its way into like its own deck, bro. I think it's very solid, bro. Like I said, like it's like the damage output is nothing crazy, but you know, because it is the 1 energy, going first with our rare candy is going to be a godlike situation. Next up we have Primarino, so the only starter that didn't get an EX, but it has the unique ability. So it is essentially Butterfree, but you heal 30 damage for each of your water Pokemon. So it heals even the bench Pokemon, and it is 2 energy. So like if you do go second with the rare candy, pretty decent as a non-EX Pokemon for 2 energy, bro. I'm gonna be real. And I mean, dude, I mean the healing can matter. Like if Darkrai is still meta relevant, like this could also be cool. Also, we do have the new Crab Dominal, which this could be paired with, just to keep that thing super tanky with the combination of like Irida. So you could possibly use like Irida, Primarino, that's 70. And then, you know, depending on if you have some potions, you could heal all the way up to 90 now on water types. And that's obviously not even, well, obviously, you know, you can't Irida Pokemon Center Lady, but either of those options, either like 80 or 90. So nothing super crazy. Definitely more of a utility card than an attacker like the other 3 cards that I've showcased. But I mean, water types are super strong, dude. We have Palkia, we have the new Crab Dominal, which I think is actually pretty cool, and we have Gyarados. So I don't think Gyarados will probably play this because it's a stage 1, but like, so next up we have Vecovolt, which is 140 HP, pretty solid, you know, for a non-EX Pokemon. So 2 energy, obviously lightning, 70 damage. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any items from their card. So if you go second, rare candy this thing, you prevent your opponent from using their rare candy themselves, And the nice thing about Vecovolt is we do have to take into the account that they do have a support card for them. We have Sophocles, which is during this turn, it is essentially a blend where Vecovolt, Togedemaru, and Lone Golem sucks, but you do plus 30 damage, which means if you do go second, you have the rare candy, you have the Sophocles on your next turn, you can threaten 100 damage, and then obviously the previous damage from the stage 1, which is just a solid 10 damage, so 110 damage. Like the Grubbin is nothing crazy, but you know, it's just gonna take it back. Also, because you are probably playing that supporter, you do have access to Togedemaru, which does 50 damage, only 20 guaranteed, 30 more if you land a heads, so it could possibly do either 50 or 80 depending on if you land the heads, and obviously use the support card. So nothing crazy, it's just one of those cards that are going to be really good if we are in a stage 2 dominated format and you simply just go second and you get lucky. Can be very obnoxious for your opponent, especially if they are playing those rare candy builds where they actually don't use the stage 1. You could just honestly prevent them from even playing the game. So next up we have Lunal EX. So we've already talked about this. So main thing is you can move all your energy from one of your Ben Psychic to your new active. So the main thing about Lunal EX is going to be played with Giratina and Mewtwo. So you could either like swap out a Giratina, go into a full HP Giratina, or you could just let Mewtwo do a bunch of 150 attacks, or in a desperate scenario, you can go in with itself. Definitely more of the ability focus on Lunala than I think actually attacking. But like I said, in those scenarios where like everything is weak and you just need that HP to live, and maybe you don't need to knock someone out in 1 hit, you can knock someone out in 2 hits. Lunala offers that. So yeah, it's just a simple utility card. Gonna be played with Mewtwo Giratina basically. Probably just makes that deck stronger than what it already was. Obviously you do trade like being stronger for like less consistency because you are going to be playing a stage 2, but I've seen some builds are already just playing the basic Cosmog. They're not playing the stage 1 and they simply just play the rare candy. Then the opposite of Solgaleo, we have, or opposite of Lunala, we have Solgaleo EX. So Solgaleo EX, 180 HP, the ability to basically be able to swap in for free if Solgaleo is on the bench. So that is especially nice if you don't have like a leaf or an X speed and you are playing something of like 2 retreat cost. So you could preserve the energy on like a Dialga, for example. Then it's just very simple, 2 energy, 120 damage. Going second with rare candy is obviously very strong. Downside to Solgaleo, you do damage itself, which can definitely play an impact. So I actually recently just played a Solgaleo player, and because they attacked, it let my decision be able to do the 100 damage. So even with hills, they wouldn't be able to like out hill the just double 200 attack. So that is something. And obviously, you know, 120, it's definitely good if you do go second with rare candy. But at the end of the day, in the end game situation, 120 damage might not be too much. Obviously, it can be 140 depending on if you're ever red, 130 Geo. But yeah, it's just simply going second. You get Solgaleo, bro, super strong. Late game, Solgaleo might not be the best, so you definitely just want to draw it early. And then we just have one more I wanted to throw in because I think it's just funny. So we have Conkeldurr. I definitely think this is the worst one I'm showcasing, but it has the ability Guts. So if this Pokemon would be knocked out, you basically flip a coin. If it is heads, Pokemon is not knocked out and you just live with 10 HP. Obviously, if there is something with chip damage like a Rocky Helmet or a Darkrai, this ability is kind of useless. But if your opponent doesn't have anything like that, then basically not knock it out without an attack, this thing can be a funny meme card where you can just land a bunch of heads and live. It is 300 for 80 damage, so kind of like a lot of energy, but at the same time, Brad, like I said, I just wanted to include this because I thought it was a funny pick. I personally actually like Conkeldurr, unpopular opinion apparently. But yeah, it's just something I wanted to showcase. Anyways, I think that is all the cards for the rare candy. I think these are the best targets. I think that definitely the ones to look out for the most are Decidueye, Lunala, and Solgaleo. I think Incineroar is strong, and Serena. And then I think the other two ones that are like alrightish are just Primarino and Vecovolt, and obviously Conkeldurr. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you guys like any of these stage 2 Pokemon or which ones you guys are looking forward to trying out the most. Peace out and have a lovely day.